right where you belong. Giving strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise.
Good evening, one and all. All right, how we all doing tonight? Welcome to the War Lasses show on TTR, of course. I am Lady Sam, and I am joined by my amazing co-host, ex-England Lioness Aran Embleton. If you are back again joining us, thank you for returning. And if you're new, where have you been? We do this, of course, to help the profile of the lasses, women's football in general as well. We like to bring you the news, our opinions on the latest matches and upcoming fixtures. We like to see you sharing yours as well. And of course, have a laugh and spread the word about the show. As always, if you do like what you're seeing and hearing tonight, please hit that like button nice and early for us. It does help us in the search engine. We love seeing your comments to us, comments to each other. Super chats as ever are guaranteed to be read out. Smash subscribe button, ring the bell for TTR content, and you can of course become a member of the TTR family, which Paige did this morning. So hi Paige, welcome to the TTR family. I know you've been watching for a while, but great to see you join as a member. Aran Embleton. Notice I didn't give you any suspicious middle names there.
No.
How are you doing? What you been up to?
Sam, busy. One-to-ones, again, coaching, obviously the game on Sunday. And as well, I went to a Christmas market the week before last, and it was at Gateshead Stadium.
Oh, she's feeling festive. Is it because it's snowing less?
Yes, it is. I've even got my tree up already.
Lovely.
And there was some great stalls there. It was absolutely fantastic. Atmosphere was tremendous. And there was a stall there, right? And it had all your sort of bobble hats on. And it drew us to it straight away because obviously there was colours of the Toon there. So lo and behold, I come away with a bobble hat. Now, it's not just any bobble hat, of course. They're all handmade and they're all like of different icons. This one there's only 50 made of each style. And this one's Joelinton. And it's got like the little ticket inside with a picture of Joelinton on there, as you can see.
Nice touch.
The best part about it, which I thought was really, really good, with it being like a local company. They started in lockdown, and they've already give a percentage of the takings to Gateshead Food Bank. So they've already given £5,000. So if you can, get yourself a hat. And obviously, some of the proceedings go to charity, which I absolutely loved. And the company is Sporting Icons UK, and you can find them on Instagram. So love it. Love me bubble hat.
There you go. Keep warm and cozy for winter. Give to charity, and represent the Toon.
Exactly.
It's a bobble hat that does quite a lot, Aran. So nice one, and hopefully it'll keep you warm as well with this weather.
But exactly what I was going to mention, Sam, because as for the game on Sunday, as you well know, I was a little bit cold, wasn't I? So this might have come in handy.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm waiting on it.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to give it away. But honestly, it was absolutely ridiculous the way that our Aaron went on at the match with the weather. It was honestly it was like she talked more
Yeah.
about how cold she was than actually what was happening on the pitch, unfortunately.
Well, what? Let's not go down the lane with you and your faces and your reactions. We'll wait and see for that one.
Well, yeah, wait and see, wait and see. As ever, you can follow Aaron and I on all of your social media channels, Lady Sam TTR, Aran Embleton on Facebook, Insta, and on where else? Where else here? X, there we go.
LinkedIn, you name it. Wherever
Gosh.
you want to find us, I'm there.
She's everywhere, people. She's everywhere. But let's get into tonight's show. We've got lots that we want to cover, and as ever, we will give you the general women's football news. We always hit up first with the Lionesses update. I thought it was really nice. The Lionesses site today posted that the first official women's game took place on this date in 1972, where we beat Scotland 2-3. Get in there. And I just think it was so pioneering to like pave the way. So I absolutely loved seeing that being posted today. So good on yous for actually pulling them out of the archive. Aaron, we do have the notification of the England lineup for the next game. So the squad announcement has come out. 30th of November, Emma Hayes' USA is who we are up against.
Emma Hayes' USA, too right. USA, 4 World Cups. I think I've got 5 Olympic medals. They're ranked first in the world. They've dominated the sport forever. They really have. They've always been the team to beat. And it's massive in the USA. Women's football is absolutely huge, and we're striding and making headway to try and get close to them. But yeah, a couple of call-ups in there from the under-23s coming through, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Again, the development coming through the ranks of different age groups throughout the England centre, and now seeing them break into the first team squad. Obviously on the back of a lot of injuries, but absolutely fantastic. Love to see it.
It is absolutely fantastic. However, we do have injuries in the squad, Aaron. Charles, Hemp, James,
Big one.
Parker,
Yeah.
Ellatoon, all
Yeah,
out. So,
massive.
folks, please brace yourselves.
Absolutely massive. And they've just brought in a couple of midfielders, Brown in there, Man City, Leicester. Yeah, great experience for them. And it's good to get, when you get your first England call up, it's that wow factor, like, oh my God, I'm among all these players. And because they've been in the setup prior to under 23s and under 21s, like, I'm sure they'll take it in their stride and hopefully progressing, those stars are born again,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is going to be tough. I went to see them in Paris win the Olympic gold, and it was just a fantastic showcase of their ability now, especially under Emma Hayes. So yeah, let's see what that has in store with us. So,
Years ago, I was going to America on a scholarship, and honestly, I turned up at Connecticut State University, and their facilities compared to what we had here was just unreal. And that was 25 years ago. Like, honestly, it was phenomenal. I was wowed at. I was a young kid. I turned up, played a few games out there, was going on the scholarship, decided to stay with my local club. I decided not to go in the end, but a lot of players, Kelly Smith was out there, Danielle Murphy went out there. There was about 6 of our England team went, and I just went to this university and stood back as a kid, and I went, wow, this is what I wish we had at home, and we didn't. And now we've got academies in every single colleges, which is amazing to see, but we're still 20 years behind the US. Yeah, the facilities you get blown away when you see what, sporting athletes have over there, as opposed to, well, we're catching up now, but what we didn't have here,
Well, all those out there in viewerland, you'll be surprised to hear this because you've teed me up very, very nicely there. I feel like I'm playing golf now because that was so well teed. Thank you. US Angel City Women's Club have announced like a 9-acre performance center. It's like the
Oh,
largest facility dedicated like out in the US, obviously. Like just I actually met one of Kamala Harris's staff out there, and they were telling us when I went to Paris for the football, and they were telling us just how incredibly popular it is, like young lads going around with like the lasses names on the back of the shirts. Like,
yeah.
can you imagine when we see our lasses like getting to that point? It'll be phenomenal.
Honestly, like years ago, I remember there was a player, and some of the listeners might remember. She was called Mia Hamm. Absolutely phenomenal player, best in the world at the time. And she's a hero in the US. I mean, advert wise, she was Nike's main icon on adverts, and she was making millions upon millions, and that was back then. So yeah, the states took it to a totally different level, and you know, I'm hoping one day we get there as a country, and support women's football like they do there.
Absolutely. And I think we're seeing like a lot of controversial things coming out, but again, it needs to go in the right direction. But like it's about the support, it's about the fans. I think we're very
It
lucky
is.
here at Newcastle to have the fan base that we do.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, actually, it was really great to see this, and I've got like a little. Of course, she's got a graphic for you. Um, you know, I love a graphic.
Yeah, you do. You
Um,
love one.
so Barclays have presented this. It's a joint visual of the Championship and the Super League, and because at the
Mhm.
weekend it was the first time when all of the games were played at a main stadium, which was absolutely fantastic. So this shows you the view all over the country at the weekend, which was absolutely
Mhm.
phenomenal to see. And something
Amazing.
else that I did notice, and well done to the BBC. I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but they were doing a bit of a reel of the same thing. So they had like
Mhm.
the scores, and they had the pictures of like all of the different teams.
Yeah.
All but one were obviously from the Super League. Get it? Fair enough. They're the most popular ones. However, one championship team did make the visual on Instagram. Who was it? Hi, it was the Toon. Fantastic war flags display, by the way. If anybody was there at the weekend, it was
Amazing.
they just knock it out the park
I
every single time. What's with all my sports
love
references? I'm
it. I know.
strictly
I
football,
loved all this. One thing
ain't
is
it?
them flags and the amount of effort that goes into, the volunteers that put these flags out is just unreal. And, me and Sam, as you'll see in a couple of weeks' time, we've got someone very special on. Bit of a teaser there for you. I'm not going to tell you too much, but you'll hear a lot more about war flags.
I feel like you've just teased too much. You keep teeing me up for things. So I'm not going to tell you just yet because I know that we've got a lot of people who've joined this evening who have been teased from our earlier shows in the week to say that we've got a big announcement coming. We are going to be revealing that shortly, so do stay tuned for that. We do have obviously our Newcastle women's football news, of course. Georgia Gibson being presented at St James's. That was absolutely fantastic. That was for her 100th appearance. Yes, it was I think it was it last week, Aaron, when the news broke about it was a 100th appearance, but she
Yeah.
actually got
Mhm.
the award presented at St James's, which would have been such an honor. She's got a visual. So here, getting the award, which is, by the way, the weekend was to celebrate Stonewall's Rainbow Laces campaign, and this is the special Adidas kit that she is sporting as well, the training kit, for
Yeah.
exactly that reason. You can see the rainbow sort of fleck within it. So that must have
Mhm.
been such a special moment in front of the war flags, getting the award. It's St James's, just class.
Absolutely love it. And, it was great to see the women's director, Sue Cummins, presenting that. But yeah, Georgia's been, the heart and soul of the team and gone through all the years with them. And it was great just in front of the fans at St. James's. It kind of put a little bit of a sparkle on there, didn't it?
It really did. It really did. I felt like she's loves to score a goal at St James's as well, and just to honour that appearance with the award there, just yes, did it right. I think it was very well
Nailed
marked.
it.
Nailed it. They nailed it.
Literally.
And some other fantastic news again for our lasses side. Our lass Body here, Alicia Body, huge congratulations, winning the Jack Hickson Trophy at the Sports Newcastle Awards. I mean, this is a big trophy, like promising youngster coming through, and it was
Yeah.
actually great to see all of the other people from around in the local area getting honoured at that award ceremony as well. But obviously had highlighted tonight here on the War Lasses show. But class achievement, Aaron.
Oh, so I'm like absolutely amazing, over the moon for her. I think it's the first time a woman's work like sporting have been given that award, and it just shows how far we're coming in women's football. But absolutely outstanding talent she is, Alicia Body, and a very grounded individual. I've had many conversations and interviewed her, and she's phenomenal on the pitch. She's going to go a long way. I'm 100% sure I will be seeing a Lioness top on her. I know she's been at under 19s, but we're all seeing the ability she's got, how she can change a game. We'll come on to it a little bit later on, how she influenced the game when she came on. But yeah, overall, honestly, absolutely love her. She's one of my favourite players.
Yeah, 100%. So getting into our injury updates as well. So carrying over from previous, Furness still out injured. The minor niggle is no longer minor. She was there at the match at St James's, which was great to see. Cataldo again, no news and update there. We did have Kelly on the bench, so she was actually warming up on the sidelines. I thought may have made an appearance, but not quite ready yet, Aaron.
No, me too. Sam, to be honest, we're talking about it when I was pretty sure I was going to see her on the pitch. But again, I think maybe Becky didn't want to push it too much just in case, which I get that. I do get it. But yeah, we've still got a few injuries in there. Furness brings a lot of experiences with no. But again, she's took a knock and she's still not there. Cataldo, yeah, you're quite right. When I last seen Cataldo, which was about 2 months ago, she just got injured then. She had took a slight knock and I was talking to her, but it must be a little bit more than that. But yeah, we need these players back. We need a full squad. And then we've got the depth to bring on, no matter what the starting 11 is, you've got the strength to come off the bench. And these players are impact players. They're very big players for us. So, yeah, it's a little bit detrimental to be missing, the ability out squad.
Yeah, and we'll obviously come to it when we get into the review of the match, but we're not going to keep you waiting any longer. We do obviously want to talk about the big announcement, the big news for the channel. So obviously, as you know, Aaron and I were at the game on Sunday, but the huge news for the channel, in fact, two pieces of huge news for the channel. Aaron and I have been granted media passes for the women's game now. So we are so thrilled. We're so grateful that they've sort of trusted us and seen what we can do on this channel to be able to sort of let us behind the curtain to actually see what's going on. We know from the feedback that you've been asking, when can we see some interviews, when he is going to get those press passes and things. It's happened, people. So we are absolutely thrilled, and thanks for everybody's support for that as well. And the second, I'd just not even stopping there, Aaron. The second piece of news is we had such a fantastic day on Sunday that we've created a pre-recorded War Lasses show. Now, this show is going to be a supplement to our live session that we do on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. It's going to be called the War Lasses Extra, and it's fantastic. It is going to be going live at 9 p.m. tonight, straight after this show. So please check it out. Please give us a like. It is pre-recorded, so it's not going to be a live show, but we've got, pre-match interviews with fans, Aaron. We've got two special guests that were included in that as well, who are a huge part of the women's club.
Yeah, they are.
Post-match interview with Becky Langley, that was amazing to do. And in true TTR style. It was all about the banter, which Aaron has alluded to already, but you have got both mine and Aaron's in-game match reactions. I mean,
Reactions.
some of them are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. You'll see the tense moments, you'll see the happiness, the laughs throughout. It's just
I'm
ridiculous.
laughing. I'm just chuckling at myself already because I can just see your face and me and you. I felt like we had packet of biscuits after packet of biscuits, didn't we?
Hey, honestly, it was so tense. And we were like Chip and Dale.
Literally, I was like this all game, and then I was shaking like this, so cold.
Yeah, it was absolutely hilarious. But I tell you what, we want to sort of give you like a little something more to try and get you to go and watch the show. So check it out. This is our little teaser for the show that's coming up at 9 p.m. this evening.
I'm worried about what I'm going to watch. Yeah.
Drum roll please, because the War Lasses show is about to get a little bit extra, because we are going to be bringing you a brand new pre-recorded show all about Newcastle United Women on top of your weekly War Lasses live show. And this is a supplement that's going to include fan interviews, our in-game instant reactions, as well as a behind the scenes peek with interviews from the players and Becky Langley herself. So check it out, give us a like, and away the lads and lasses. Whoop whoop.
Love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it.
I am loving that. So please, people, get in, check it out, have a look at it, drop us a like. We would really appreciate it as well. Hi Yvonne, hope your pup's doing well. Hope the baby's doing okay. I'm assuming it's a dog, could be a cat, could be a tortoise. I don't know, but I know they went to the vet, so I hope you're okay. Oh, we've got a Toon review in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Paul. So yeah, Aaron, we'll get into the match now. What we do like to do as ever is give like a bit of a starting 11 setup. So if you can talk us through the lineup, please.
Yes. So obviously starting off with Claudia in goal, as we know, absolutely outstanding as normal. Stokes on the left, Cooper just inside. I know we've got down Olivia Watt, but it was Potts. And then we've got Lumsden, McQuaid, Stobbs in the middle, Hales, and then you've got a bit of your midfield pushing forward to get in and behind. Sibley, Barker up top with Hales and Lumsden. I can see two Lumsdens on there. Lumsden should be on the left. And it should have been Joel, on the bottom right-hand corner. So yeah, like a few changes. Obviously, we're missing Alicia Body, Andrews, change for Andrews. I think purely down to, we discussed it last week, performance-wise, it was obviously bringing in Sibley in there, and with Olivia Watt coming in for the injured Charlotte Potts early on in the game.
And were any surprises there for you, Aaron, in terms of the lineup?
Not really. I did think Emma Kelly was ready, like I mentioned before, to come on. I thought she maybe get a start, but it wasn't to be. And obviously we had Stobbs back, which was great. Controlling that middle, it was, for me, it was good to go. I thought on the back of the defeat week before, I thought the fire in the bellies. I had loads of conversations. I think you had just arrived, Sam, and we went to Stack first and spoke to a lot of big supporters of the Toon. And I was bumping into everyone. Everyone's asking, what's your prediction for the score? And I was going, no problem at all. We're going to come out and we're going to hammer them. And I thought, with the St. James's, with a big crowd, it was going to be. But obviously, as we found out that, we did struggle at times.
As we found out to our detriment.
Yeah,
My goodness.
It wasn't to be. But that the scope on the game, I really thought, hand on my heart, the girls were going to come out, fire in the bellies, go out, and I thought it was going to be a big win. I really did.
Yeah, I think I don't think the occasion got to them though, Aaron. I think we can often say, well, it's
No, I
the
don't.
occasion, it's the stadium.
No,
There
I don't
was
think it was
there
the
was there
occasion.
was something else afoot. But
No.
let's get into the first half straight away. I mean, I
Mm,
think initially we came out with quite a bit of pace, quite a bit of
mhm.
impetus in our game, and we really wanted to sort of come out charging,
Yeah.
and quickly sort of dropped off. Actually, I
Mhm.
think we were figured out relatively shortly, and we
Fast.
just got shut down.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes we did come out we came out the guns, and literally, we had quite a lot of possession in the first 5 minutes. But again, I don't know, I I didn't feel like we got into a full stride, although we were attacking quite a bit in the first 5 minutes, and then I felt like we were just hit with a sucker punch 7 minutes into the game, and again, it's our own doing. It was played back. I think it was played back by Cooper. There was nothing wrong with the back pass. Normally, you'll see a defender give a back pass to the keeper, and normally it's too short, and it's not like normally the keeper's fault. Um, but I don't know what Claudia was thinking. At first touch, the ball came into her. She had plenty of time, and she just didn't take a big enough touch out of her feet. Her first touch wasn't good at all. And as a keeper, you can't make a mistake as a keeper. It's the only position. It's in the back of the net if you make a mistake, and that touch out the feet was too far, and it just allowed Gregory to run in, who nipped it off a toe and put it in the back of the net. She just side footed it, and we both looked at each other, didn't we? And we're like, "Oh my god, what just happened there?"
Ah,
Uh,
ah.
yeah, took a punch very fast, and I think straight away you're on the back foot, aren't you? You're playing catch up and you're playing chase, and I think then everyone started to panic. There was no composure by going just calm down. Keep the ball, keep possession. We'll go from here and we'll pull it back. It was panic stations, and I felt like you know we were just kicking the ball, launching it downfield, or touch wasn't there because they were panicking, and it was straight in, like straight away in the first half. Sam, Peblo, she's played for England under 19s, under 20s, I think under 21, under 17s. I think she's gone through a lot of the ranks, and she's still quite young. She's like, what, 5'9". She dominated that midfield. We had a huge problem closing her down. She was winning second balls. She was winning everything in the air. And she controlled that midfield, and that was the problem. She was just pivoting, knocking it left, knocking it right. She brought that, and I don't know if you remember us mentioning it, that physicality, and I don't think we've come up with anyone so physical yet. And I think had a major factor from the goal. She pretty much became a bit of a brick wall in there, and it was hard to get through her for the likes of Stobbs to play the balls in, for the likes of Barker, Hales. It just, yeah, it fell to pieces.
And it was so early to concede such a sloppy goal. It was almost like we were on the back foot. It kind of
Yeah.
was reminiscent for me about like how we've been conceding from corners recently. It
Mhm.
was that almost unprepared, like we needed to grow into the game. But actually, when we started, I think we looked quite decent. We were
Yeah.
well up for it. The crowd,
Mhm.
I mean, there was so many Geordies behind the lasses. The display was absolutely phenomenal as well. The award for Gibbo in advance, and then just to concede early from
Mhm.
that type of goal. Do you think it got into the minds a little bit, Aaron?
I think it did, yeah. I mean, the crowd, again, the atmosphere was absolutely phenomenal. And I know we commented so many times, didn't we, before the game? We're like, oh, wow, look at this. Amazing. The whole flags, the whole shebang. You had Bernie. We could hear Bernie at the top of our voice getting the crowd going. But yeah, I do. I think that changed everything in the first 7 minutes. And I mean, again, not only did Gregory put it in the net, nipped on Mon's toes, stole it off her from a touch, put it in the back of the net. 10 minutes later, she broke down the right hand side again. Again, the right hand side that were causing us problems, and she managed to strike this ball and put the curl on it, and it bent round, curled, and hit off the crossbar. And I think Claudia luckily got a hand to it and just tipped it onto the bar, but it could have been 2-0 in a very short space of time. And I think it caught on the back foot, like, what is going on here? Yeah.
Do you know what? For me, Aaron, we look shook. We look shook, and
We
I think
did.
that's when they quickly came with the second chance, and then it was just like, oh, we are panicking a little bit
Mhm.
now. We seem to be getting really overworked right across the field. I don't think we were using the width correctly enough. We weren't
Mhm.
tight enough,
Yeah.
and they just seem to be able to just thread the ball. But talk to us a little bit about possession, Aaron, because we sort of saw it last week and then it punished us this week. It punished us hard this week.
We had less possession on Sunday's game than we did the game before. We ended with 41% possession the for the full game to their 59%. So again, that tells you a big. It gives you a big factor of the game. They were holding their own a lot more than we were, giving away the ball very, very sloppy. Like I say, the first touches, it wasn't just at Claudia. Like I say, if a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's in the back of the net. I'm on about generally all over the pitch here. We were very, very sloppy. I know Potts got caught at one point before she went off injured. And I think it was from that shot I was on about. The ball got played around the right hand side, and it's not like Potsy would. She's got so much experience. She showed the wrong side of the player. She got on the inside of her, and then Potsy ended up chasing her, and they had this confidence straight away from that goal. And Gregory, from the angle which we all seen, for it to take a shot from wide right, and I'm talking the byline, to be able to smack the ball from there and hit the crossbar, like, that's when you've got confidence. Do you know what I mean? Because you wouldn't be striking from that far out. And she nearly scored from it, but we lost all the confidence very fast. We gave the ball away far too easy. And we lost one of our biggest players that settled the team, drives the team in Potsy when she got injured. And we both seen, like, she's very passionate. We know that. And her face dropped and she was so angry she had to come off. And I don't know what extent the injury was, but she wasn't happy and clearly something was niggling and she came off. And I think that's big detriment because it changes the dynamics of your defence. Um, you have a team that generally stay together, the back four stay together. Yeah, there's been the likes of switching in and out for the likes of Potts. But generally, they all know each other. And if you take a central defender out of a team, it's like taking your centre midfielder. It's the spine of your team. And I think that, again, that's got to have impacted the players around her because she's a leader.
Yeah, absolutely. And we notice when Potter's in the team. I mean, I'm always saying great stuff, but even picking up in the match, but Potts made a mistake here and there, but luckily, like, Moan ended up saving it on the end. I think that was when, did you take it on our wrong side or something and just let the defense in? And it was just like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? They're just the little niggly mistakes that we don't seem to be just spitting, polishing them out at this point. I probably would have expected to see
Yeah.
us have a little bit more of a handle on our game and how we want to play it. I think we've always had an identity and a structure in how we're playing, but we're
Yeah.
shifting formations quite a lot, which I enjoy. I like to see something different. I like that we've got we've got the confidence to actually try something different, and I think we've certainly got the quality to, but I don't think we've maybe found a formation that probably sticks with us, Aaron.
Nah,
Yeah.
and I have to agree with you, Sam. Like, we've switched formations so many times, and we're pushing the midfield, our wingers. We've tried playing them higher up the field. Then we've got caught last game over the top and left Olivia Watt absolutely isolated. So then they still, for me, were a little bit higher. But even down to Beth's been phenomenal. I don't know how many times we've kind of bigged her up because she has. She's been one of our best players. But down that left hand side again, like, she was getting caught in possession a lot. Beth likes to knock the ball out of her feet. She'll go around players 1, 2 and whip a ball straight into danger area for Hales to come on and either header it in or, side foot it in. There was just none of that. They were very clued up. I mean, their right back, Mott, we mentioned her throughout the game. She was solid at the back, and she's clearly been watching, and keeping an eye on the fact of Beth Lumsden and how she plays, because she worked her out very quickly. And we home in on our wingers for the deliveries, to create things, to open that gap. And when you shut our wingers off, we have a problem. And we looked for our centre forwards to do something themselves, and it wasn't happening because we couldn't get through from midfield. And Pebble was just blocking her. So I think they had done their homework, and it shut us up in all different areas. They closed the gap. We couldn't get through them. We couldn't get over them. It wasn't there.
We couldn't get through. We couldn't get
We couldn't
round.
get
We couldn't
on.
get over.
I agree with that.
But it's so true, and I think even early on, probably 20 minutes in, there was that period of time when it was just wave after wave. But again, reminiscent, and this was echoing of the performance that we actually saw last week as well. Just attack after attack. We obviously had Watt that came on after Potsy came off injured as well. She was offside, gave the ball away, but I don't think any player got away without any mistakes. But they were so accurate in every set piece and in every pass that was had as well. I think Barker was a welcome sort of sight for me. I think she's got so much power, so much pace as well. But I think that pace was actually met equally by Mott, I believe it was. So actually seeing everybody go basically head to head with quality was outstanding. But I think you've already mentioned that Peplo for Southampton was an absolute handful, and I think the only player from Newcastle United Women's team which seemed to have a good gauge on it, and maybe because subbed on, but it was Body. When Body came on, was the only person who could, I don't know, turn the volume down on their intensity.
Yeah, and we're seeing that. I mean, she came on at 60 minutes, and she leveled the midfield out. She made sure the wingers pulled in. She always brings something different to the team, and you've seen the balance change immediately. She was going through the gap, she was going round them, she was playing out wide, and we had that sparkle back. In the first half with Barker though, I seen her go past two players, and she absolutely launched the shot, and it hit off the crossbar and come flying back out. So we were close. Again, Sam, we had plenty of chances. We had 10 chances, I think 10 or 11, I think it was, and we only got one on target though out of them. Whereby Southampton again had something like 10 chances and majority of them on target. There's a massive gap there. From first place Birmingham all the way down to Charlton, one below us. Goals for every team's got more than us. So that straight away that tells you that we're not shooting enough to get the goals, and even the teams below us have got more goals for than what we have. So when we've kept mentioning it week after week after week about how important it is, we need to get these chances on target. The stats speak volumes on their own. It's saying it there that there's a problem. We're not hitting the target. We're creating chances, but we're not finding the net. We're not even bringing a save out the keeper. We're putting it wide. So we need to be working on that. We've got the quality in the team. The players, they've played at a decent level. They've got the experience, and you should be hitting the sticks from anything from 30 yards out.
True. Again,
I'm on the soapbox again.
I don't know if any of the viewers could hear Aaron up there on her high horse. Well, we'll wait for her to come down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it's absolutely true. But this isn't news. This
No, it
isn't, you
isn't.
know, this has been
This is a
consistent,
pattern
you
in
know.
it.
We're seeing it now. And I think what's alarming to me is that we can actually turn to statistics now. Stat will be loving this. We can actually turn to stats now and
Yeah.
and actually see, wow, we're you know, can we create the chances? Can we actually find the back of the net as well? Because that's where we seem to be struggling. And you know, Wonder Woman's made a good comment here about like Amy Andrews need to be on the wings because she's fast. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that, because I think that, you know, you give me hell for saying that I was a big fan of Andrews because I liked the support and the assists that she was supplying to Hales. But actually, when I'm like being reflective in a corner when I've cried after a match when we don't take away 3 points. But you're right. We need to see goals from Andrews because I think she's got the pace. I think she's got good foresight for the game,
Yeah.
and she understands where, you know, where to thread the balls through to. She understands where to be positionally. But again, just that finish, we are just lacking, and I don't think we can rely on set pieces from Lunsden for the rest of our season.
No, we can't. We really can't. Yeah, I totally get it. Andrews is very, very quick. She's a little whippet, but her positional play needs to be better. And I can see why Becky, you know, dropped her and brought in Barker. So there's fors and against, you know, like if the positional play was better, and I'm sure she'll be working on it 100%. You know, she's got talent. It's a case of Becky showing up that positional play when we're not on attack. She needs to be tucking in. She needs to be playing in midfield, and becoming that spine. If she's not, like we've seen against Bristol, the balls over the top. Liv Watt was isolated. Yeah, there's a bit of homework to be done on that side of things for Andrews, but I'm sure she'll be working on it now. You know.
Indeed. And I think it's sort of it was a difficult watch, should we say, the
It was.
the first half. And you know, obviously it resulted in that really early goal for them. Unfortunately, I
Mhm.
think they really did earn it. However, so credit to them. But let's start getting into the second half, and this is where the biscuits really did start to go down the hatch.
Yeah, they
the
did.
nerve
What
the
was it?
nervous
Was it
eating began.
ginger biscuits and cookies?
I mean, why decide? Just have them all, and I absolutely did. Like it was so intense. I mean, it was entertaining. I think we came out. We could have been downtrodden. We could have been really down on ourselves, but I think we did look a little bit more eager. We had a lot more fire in our bellies. I felt like
Yeah.
it was a bit more up and down the
Mhm.
pitch as well. They did again have fantastic possession though, Aaron. But give us your summary of the second half.
Yeah, it was a very similar sort of story as the first half. A little bit more possession. I did see a couple of glimpses appear from Beth on the left hand side. One point she cut inside and drove the ball laces, and it was just outside the post. It could have easily have went in, if you know, with a better connection. Um, I remember seeing Jazz McQuaid again. She went and hit, I think it was bobbling around. It was doing a bit of a pinball. Jazz McQuaid, I think, just sliced it slightly and it just looped. And I think the keeper, Stevenson, just tipped it over. So we were creating more chances. And like we've mentioned, body came on and it did change and we were getting more possession. But it wasn't right until the end. And for me, I thought the game was gone. I really did. When it got to, I would say about 85 minutes, I was thinking I don't think this is coming back. But luckily, it was one of them. Body picked up the ball, dancing around. It was ricocheting all over the shop, and we couldn't even keep up at one point, could we? I went, who even scored? And it was bobbling and hitting, and I think it hit off about 7 players. It had landed. Cooper did have a fantastic game, and she was really, really strong. She was there. You had centre half standing on, you know, the 6-yard line in straight to our feet and in the back of the net. So, we got a point out of it. We needed to get something from the game. We've dropped, obviously, in the league. We dropped down a little, and Sunderland's unfortunately taken over us. But there's not much in it. There's not much in it, Sam. There's only a couple of points in from where we are up until about third place. But yeah, it was a hard game to watch, and we ate the biscuits to keep us happy. I
That's it.
shivered along every minute with it.
She really did, people. It was really hard. It was really hard match to watch, and then to watch it with Aaron shaking, like it was absolutely ridiculous. But you'll see all of that in the video at 9 o'clock. Honestly, it's you'll get to relive it all with us, which will be great. But I think thinking about the goal, Aaron, it wasn't elegant, it wasn't quality, but it got the job done. It got us a point.
That's exactly it. And at the top as a league, you don't have to play brilliant in any games, and you can have the worst game ever, but you can still drag out points from games. And that just shows, we dug deep and we got the point out of the game. As bad as it was, we didn't have a good game at all. Possession wasn't great, but we dug deep and we still ground a point out. And that's the difference between, champions at the top and not. Even when you're having a bad game, can you still get a result? Can you still get that point you need? And it just showed, yeah, we can. We've done it. And like I say, Cooper, she didn't have the best of games against Bristol, but I tell you what, she did have a solid game against Southampton, at the back there. She was winning things in the air. She was positional play from the week before when I was talking about she was out to play for the set piece for one of the goals. I'd seen none of that. She had tightened all of that up, and she was brilliant,
Do you think we're seeing a different side of Cooper now? Because I am always fair. I absolutely love the lasses.
Yes.
I give credit when it's due, and we'll give an honest review when it's not. And I have been critical of Cooper since she's come into the side. Seen a couple of mistakes, seen a couple of great clearances at the same time, but probably more leaning towards the mishaps, should we say? But yeah, I totally agree. And people get in the chat, let us know what you thought of Cooper. Of course, it was great to see her getting a goal for us as well. That was like absolutely tremendous. Here she is, and I just thought it was sloppy, but we needed to be there and we needed to be focused. And I think that just showed how much we wanted it. So do I want to relive the moment back? My goodness. I think the build up to it, the minutes building up to it, like the clock was ticking down. Like you said, I think it was like 85 minutes. And we do need to talk about the ref as well, by the way. Please, people, get in the ref. Get in the chat, rather. Get in the ref. I get the ref. No, don't condone that. But please let us know in the chat what you thought about the ref. Because, Aaron, I mean, we were screaming out. We were talking to other people in the press area like...
Yeah, what was going on? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a potential penalty call, and that was only, 84, 85 minutes?
Do you know what it is? From the start of the game, I remember saying to you, like, the ref's having a really good game. This was the first half, and she was having a fair game. Like, you can't pull up all the time and blow your whistle and bring it back. If you can let play on, play advantage, you do that. You don't want the game to be stop-start, and she did that in the first half. Second half was a totally different story. There was so many fouls going on. There was pullback at one point, I think. I don't know if it was Lumsden's shirt nearly got pulled off her back. She was like she jumped on her back at one point. Can you remember that? She was like bear hugging her from the back. There was nearly a penalty. Yeah, the pen. I can't even remember who it was on the edge of the box, and I was just like, that was a Stonewall penalty. And at that point, Becky came off the bench and she was foaming. The arms would go in. She was going, ref, the pen. It was a pen, and there was about 5 or 6 fouls created that should have been pulled up as a foul and weren't given. A free kick on the edge of the box late on, I think it was about 80 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we obviously got the goal. It was the last minute of the game. I think it was 89 minutes that we scored. It was pretty much nearly the last kick of the game. But yeah, the ref didn't have a great second half at all. And everyone was in uproar around us as well,
Yeah, I mean, you could hear it from the fans. I mean, they were foaming. The fans
Yeah,
were foaming.
yeah.
Obviously, we were right behind the dugout as well. You could hear Becky just like, what? Like,
Hmm.
we just couldn't understand it. We couldn't make sense of it. Neither could anybody else in the press area as well. And I think because it was so tense, because everybody wanted it so
Hmm.
much, and the clock was ticking down. It's 8 minutes of extra time, and like we're
Yeah,
like, look at each other like, oh my goodness, because it started to get really, really tense. You could see
intense.
the lasses
Hmm.
were just like, nah, we need to keep going for this.
Yeah,
And I remember, I remember turning to you and I was like, Aaron, there's like 88 minutes on the clock, 88 minutes and 33 seconds. It was only 8 minutes of extra, and then boom,
yeah.
goes in, goes in, sloppy, unclassy. Who cares?
Cares.
It's in the
Yeah,
back of the
it's one
net.
of them.
The
We don't care
crowd
who kicked
went
it.
nuts.
Yeah, don't care who kicked it. What happened at that point? Just remember jumping up and down, thinking who's. I went, you who scored? And I don't even think the host over the over voice
They didn't announce it.
didn't even announce it because I don't think he had a clue either because it was just bundled in. It was as it was bobbling around. But yeah, it was you know great to get the point. What I would love to see is consistency, and we speak about this.
Mm,
The up and down of the performances. We win, we lose, we draw, and that's one thing that if you watch the show afterwards, you'll see some of the questions relating around that to Becky. But yeah, we need consistency. We need we've ground results out from games that we haven't particularly played well. But again, that's what we need to win, to get up the top for this league and win the league.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a hard game to watch. A very
Yeah.
hard game to watch.
It was tense. My whole body was aching after watching it, sat next to you. What was it?
What do you mean?
Ah, I felt like I've been in
I,
a round with Mike Tyson when he was 19 years old. I was like, getting beaten about by you shaking with the cold all the time.
but
But never
I
mind.
couldn't hear the game because all I could hear was you chomping on for your
Me,
next cookie.
I'm a great match buddy. Anyway, let's take a look at the table where we are currently.
Mm,
So this was taken very early this morning. Look at me, early bird, 6:30. Um,
wow.
Probably no surprise. I know, right? I'm just super keen checking the results. Uh,
Eeny meeny.
I know. So we can see there seventh currently, Aaron.
Hmm.
I mean, given this is our first time that we're up here in the championship, if you comparably with Portsmouth, right down there. I mean, they've got 1 point this season, minus
Hmm.
24 goal difference.
Yeah,
So
they're
I don't
really
think
struggling.
it's that, let's keep it positive here. We are
Yeah,
learning, we are
we are.
adapting to a very difficult league, very difficult competition here, and we are currently
Correct.
seventh. So, Aaron, give
We
us your
are.
synopsis.
Yeah, I mean, from the first show, you remember us saying I said mid-table. Obviously, as more games have gone on and we've got stronger and we've brought players in, then now I'm thinking obviously topper end of the table. But that's where I expected us for this season anyway. And when I'm giving my opinion, it's really me nitpicking because they are doing phenomenal for where, like I say, I expect them to be. 15 points out of 9 games. We're only 4 points from Birmingham, really. Let's be realistic here. That's a win and a draw, a win and a draw up there, or a couple of wins off the back, and the teams ahead of us just dropping points, which you can see there's nothing in these games, so it can turn around in a couple of games, and before you know it, the bottom end's at the top. But yes, Sam, absolutely phenomenal for the first season, being in this league. But yeah, like I
Would
can't say
would
anything other. We're doing brilliant. We're being critical because all we want is success and we want them to do well. But ultimately, on a full summary of their season so far, if we're going to summarize it, they're doing pretty good. They've beaten top teams in this league. They've showed the strength. We've got the depth. We've got injuries and we need them back, but we've showed we're in this to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, we're critical. It's a review show. Like this is our team. It doesn't mean that we don't absolutely love the lasses, love the Northeast, love the team and what they've done for the sport at all. Like
We,
this is what we want to do. We're football fans. So, you know,
yeah,
we do
we absolutely do.
we
We're
do it for
passionate,
we
aren't
do it
we?
for the lasses as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about credit where it is due. We even give
Yeah.
credit to opposing teams as well.
Mhm.
Would it be nice to keep Sunderland a little bit below, so Aaron, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That, you know, and I've seen when they crept above us, I was like, oh boy. And Mel, you know, fair play to her, she's pulled the team back. You know, they had a really, really bad start, but again, like we're saying, tables can turn very fast, and they pulled themselves back. So, you know, fair play to Sunderland, but ultimately not good for us. But we'll get it back. And like I say, I'm I decipher how we play with stats and things like that because I want us to be better, and we will. And we're learning. We're on a learning curve, you know.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, what do you think, Aaron, then, in terms of, you know, you've been in these situations, you've been
Mm.
in those types of matches. What would Becky have probably been saying to the lasses after that match? Because we're at St James's,
Yeah.
it's not a normal fixture
No.
at Kingston Park. You know,
Hmm.
the cathedral on the hill means the world to
Of
Newcastle
course.
fans. So to,
Yeah.
you know, to come away with just the point there, disappoint,
Hmm.
do you think?
Yeah. I think we were expecting to go in the game to win, because it was the whole setup, St James's support on the back of a defeat that again we probably should have won. Um, but as a manager, you know, you go in and you've got to get your players back up. You go in and you know they're down. Of course they are. You've come out with a draw and you've only won at the last minute, and it's all panic stations. But again, that's a positive out. We ground the result out, even though we didn't give the performance. And I think that's the positive that she'll come away with for the team and say to the lasses, come on, we're doing fantastic. Pretty much what I was saying there. We are where we are in the league. We've beat the likes of Birmingham this season. We've shown we're character. And we've come back from a 1-0 down in the first half, battling all game and pulled it back to 1-1. So, you know, onwards and upwards to our next game. You can't live on the last game all the time. You've got to be positive and start to look forward to the next game. Who we're playing, what's their strengths, what's their weaknesses, and how we're going to exploit to get the result next week. So, yeah, that'll be Becky's kind of scope this week and training around areas that probably the midfield where we were losing a lot of possession again, and some forward playing. You know, getting shots on target, some of the basic stuff. And the goals will follow. If we can correct that, we'll start hammering the goals in, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of the next game, ta-da! 24th, Kingston Park.
Yeah.
As ever, on this show, we always encourage you to get down to the match if you are able to do so. Support the lasses in person, create that atmosphere. Come along, absolutely fantastic. 24th, 2 p.m. kickoff. Women's League Cup, Aaron.
Yeah. Bring
So
it on.
this is a why not, eh? Just
I just throw them all in. Bring Chelsea and all while you're on.
yeah. I mean, we've got the upcoming fixtures as well, but
Hmm.
obviously that was a cup game that was coming up there. So you know we've got some tough games
Yeah.
ahead. We've got some interesting fixtures, but the season is far from over. So I hope that's encouraging everybody. That's plenty of time for us to polish up on what we need to get better at, certainly,
Yeah.
Aaron. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, against Liverpool FC, that is obviously going to be a really hard one. But you know what, I don't think we
It
did
is.
too badly against Everton. I think
Hmm.
it was all about how we sort of handled the game, and that the Everton result was you know, that sort of last minute gut punch again. But I certainly think that we've got the quality. We just need the cohesion now, the communication between the players. And you're right, just
Hmm.
polishing up those rough edges, should we say?
It is, and it's always great. Like, you know, we'll all go, oh, we're playing a WSL team and things like that. But it's great experience, you know, for the lasses. It's to see that level. It gives Becky the chance to make some changes and play different players out at certain positions, change different formations. And yeah, especially for the lasses, they relish the opportunity to play against the best and some of the players that play for obviously England. So it'll be interesting to see, but it's only good, there's only positives come out of it. And they'll come away from that and they'll have learned a lot. But yeah, it shows what level they need to be at and stepping up again,
Absolutely. You are only as good as your peer group. So that
Correct.
is a wrap for this week, everybody. Please do go and check out that pre-recorded show, which is literally now live. It is the War Lasses Extra. Thank you to everybody this week for tuning in. Mods, as ever, thanks for keeping an eye on the chat for us. Thank you to Aaron, my esteemed co-host. Super chats, getting involved with us as ever. Most likely, please like us. Please keep on tuning into us every single week. We just want to see the lasses succeed. We want to spread the word as well. So please help us do that. And thank you very much for your time.
How are the lasses?
Come on, man.
Come on.
Come back and check out the green.